Several people ask me about what cookbooks we use. Most of the things we can cook from our head, but this is the cookbooks that we keep in our kitchen. We do have some others. When we got married 44 years ago, we bought this recipe finder. And if I can get in there, see, it had little pages. That's for poultry and game. And you would just slip each little recipe between where the pages were. That's what happens after 40 some years. Get some decent light on it. And we just don't have the time to write down the great recipes and put them on the computer and print them. So we go scrambling through this all the time. This is where we keep all the stuff. Like if you use a bag to cook a turkey in and they give you a little information sheet. See one sitting right there? We save it. So in case we got a bag and don't have the thing of how long to cook something, we've got one of them. All the old recipes for tuna casseroles and things off of pasta boxes. Our oldest book is this. It is an absolute great book. If you ever find one in a used bookstore or yard sale, buy it. American Home All-Purpose Cookbook, Evans. It's sort of a light blue, dark strip book. This has everything in it. Anything you could possibly ever want to eat. You can see how old this is. If you name it, it's in this book. We have pasta books, dessert books, cookbooks all around. Some of the best cookbooks you'll find are the area cookbooks. That's Tangier Island, Virginia. They are famous for couldn't say it's a restaurant, but it's a house that they serve food in. On big tables, everybody sits together at big tables. And this is one from Urbana Oyster Festival. And it tells all about how to fix seafood from all the great cooks in Virginia. And this is a book I picked up in Georgia a long time ago. And this has down home absolute the best recipes for fixing southern foods. This lady right here, Ethel Rayson Dixon, she's born in Shreveport. And she is a great cook. Another great asset is church cookbooks. This is a church cookbook from my wife's grandmother's church. And she was known for her breads, rolls, and several specialty dishes. And when they had church suppers, everybody wanted to know if Granny Grace was coming and was she bringing her yeast rolls. It's a great source of a wealth of information because every member in that church that was a cook contributed a recipe. Here's another one that came out of Amelia, Virginia, Tabernacle United. That's a good one. This is another one. Absolute great source. Where my wife works at a hospital, and this book was made up of recipes from all their employees years ago. And there are some really great recipes in there. Our favorite book, and the one our go-to book, is this book. I've talked about it before. Mary Emma Showalter, Mennonite Community Cookbook. They're $8-9. You can find them that way. They might cost more somewhere else. You can see where we've added things to it on a recipe. But it has a ton of recipes, and it's all broken into soups, goulashes, pasta, things, recipes made with chicken, beef, you name it. Super deal. Another thing we do is we copy recipes out of books of people. This is my yeast roll recipe, which I hope to make some bread and put it on YouTube because I'd rather bake than cook. And this is a old 1960s Best of the Bake Off Pillsbury, 1,000 recipes for their bake-offs. They're old books, but they still have great information in it. This, you can tell by the little pieces of paper we have in it. We use it a lot. It's a Southern Living Christmas recipe book. And this one is a 5-star recipe cooking light. And you can see all the pieces of paper in there, recipes that we use and cook all the time. And now we need to talk about bread before it gets too long. The guru of breads was a man named James Beard. This book, most of these books, except for a few of them, were in the 60s. Mr. Beard's probably passed away, but this little book, it's probably out of print. He was a guru on breads. We've used that so much that the bindings come undone. Here's another good book on breads. It's The World of Breads. We love great breads. This is a great book on, we pick a lot of these things up at bookstores that have sales, like giveaway, 10% value. The reason I like this book is it gives recipes, but it changes them according to what machine you have. And I thought that was a rather neat idea. And see, we've got a Regal Kitchen Pro. I wrote it in there just so I wouldn't have to go over and look at it when I was looking in this book. But it's all based on what machine you use. Thought it was a neat idea. And this is probably the best book you'll ever buy on how to make bread and do it right. A Loaf of Bread, Gail Duff. Now, I have used this book a lot. I mean, it's croissants, pita bread, all kinds of pastries, desserts, flatbreads, you name it, it's in this book. And you can see from our little tabs, we've been in here a lot. Muffins, scones, it's all in here. But that's, then you always have all these little pamphlets everybody give you with their cookware. But that's what we got for cookbooks.